ATHM students, the town hall teams put together a video for you demonstrating how breakout rooms typically function, as well as what kinds of questions and responses you should expect to hear in the conversations with the consultant. Before I show you that though, let's get a quick reminder on what happens in the breakout rooms. So the breakout rooms are where students get to present their policies that they've been researching for the semester and why they think it's the best course of action to deal with the problem they've identified. It also gives students a chance to talk with experts in the field and ask them any questions they have, as well as get feedback from them about their proposed policy. Now that we've gone over that, let's see an example of what a breakout room looks like.
So my name is Michael Pratt. I'm the admissions coordinator here for graduate studies. A little bit about my background. I'm a former president of the Associated Students and a former vice president of University Affairs for the California State Student Association. So I've been able to represent students for the CSU system everywhere from Sacramento at the Capitol to DC and Congress, as well as testify before that body. Along with the US Department of Education and several other key facets of our educational system. So that's why I'm here as a consultant, just to kind of give some insights about how things really work and hopefully help provide some clarity for you.
Nice. Well, good to have you. My name is Dylan Gard. I'm a junior at Chico State, computer animation student. And I'm really interested in kind of the cost of higher education. Obviously, that's heavily applicable to all of us in this room today. And yeah, I was just hoping to gain a little bit more insight from some of the knowledge that you have. So I was hoping you could tell me a little bit more about this one thing. How can government aid universities in keeping tuition costs low for students?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we're talking about really two major elements there. One is the tuition component, and the other is grant opportunities. So we're not going to see a reduction in tuition anytime soon, but what we might be able to accomplish is a tuition freeze or stabilization. We were able to accomplish that several years ago with a tuition freeze. We do know that we'll be seeing a rise in tuition over the next several years as the state begins to pull back its funding. But through a number of initiatives we've been able to pursue with the state legislature in the past was to continue to fund and increase baseline funding to the CSU, which kept tuition at level or at least reducing the initial amount of the tuition increase. The other part is to look at Cal State or Cal Grant as an option to advance or implement a greater amount from that. And then there's a little bit that the federal government can do in terms of those resources. But anytime you talk about the federal government, you're talking about a much larger initiative and trying to convince a much larger body.
Right.
So the best thing that we can do right now that we know of is work with the state government to help keep tuition as low as possible and help improve the access and amount of the Cal Grant.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for that. I think another question to add on is what will student loans look like under public loan forgiveness?
Yeah, so that's the one that things are a little up in the air right now. We're relatively assured that there will be public service loan forgiveness at some point. Like we will have that program. But the exact details of it, even as an expert, we may not know what's going to happen.
Right.
We're just waiting for more information as the courts decide. But that's one of those things where it's beneficial for you to keep up to date with the news and the information coming from the U.S. Department of Education, watching those court cases carefully and seeing how that may impact you all. Because yeah, those payment plans, if SAVE goes through, that's going to be a very different outlook for a lot of people.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Michael.